everyone, just to reiterate, this is all just my opinion. I don't mean to come off as a know-it-all or anything. Now with that said, let's get underway. With Final Destination 4, I'm sorry, The Final Destination, tearing up cinema screens, I thought it appropriate to make a vid comparing the first three in the series, so sit back and let murderous carnage commence. Final Destination came out at the turn of the century, when plane crash survivors falling victim to grisly accidents devised by death itself. The premise is rather unique. It's a film that plays it tongue-in-cheek. Nothing is taken too seriously except for the climax. I mean, just look at the very last scene and you'll see the dark comedic tones. One thing you'll notice about this film that's absent in the other two is that these characters are treated like actual characters, and not the cardboard cutouts that populate Final Destination 2 and 3. To see this, just look at the deleted scenes on the DVD. It'll show you underlying subplots as well as who was originally going to survive the film. Also, one brilliant touch is the signs that foreshadow every character's imminent demise. However, like all sleeper hits, the producers really didn't know how to follow it up, so we get Final Destination 2. Not a terrible film, but just not that good, rehashing what's really the same plot as the first. Although I really like the idea that the deaths of the original cast is what kept all these people from the grave in the first place, it's still more of a series of gory death scenes than an actual movie. And it also kinda plays it a bit too serious at times too, and that really hurts the film. By the time 2006's Final Destination 3 rolled around, however, all traces of character development had been abandoned, as had anything resembling a plot, to be honest. By this stage the formula was in place, and all it really had to show for itself was a handful of increasingly gory death scenes. Seriously, they wouldn't get away with this stuff on Itchy and Scratchy. I guess the only real strength of Part 3 is that it plays it for laughs and shock value. Oh, I have to say this, there's one unintentionally hilarious aspect of the film that I've just got to point out. The kid with the camcorder, who gets kicked off the roller coaster. Now, did none of the producers or editors catch that it was him dropping his camera that caused the accident in the first place? I mean, that's just stupider than the magic time delay pile-up in Part 2. I know this has been a relatively short video, but there's not really that much to say. In summation, as far as films go, what is so difficult about making a third installment that isn't crap? I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong, but still a bad film. But look at the bright side. The fourth one can't be any worse than the third, can it? Overall, it's a downward spiral. Final Destination gets a B, Final Destination 2 gets a C, and you guessed it, Final Destination 3 scrapes past with a D.